Morning. So, this is the day 3 for my live vlogs. Hopefully, things I say are still making sense. Of course, I still have things in my head that I would really want to share about, just because uh, there are thoughts that hindi mo na ma-share readily sa specific group of people or sa kahit kanino, dahil wala namang context kung bakit mo siya i-share ng diretsahan. Gets nyo ba yun? Yung meron kayong thoughts na kahit you have friends, you have family members, you just can't share those thoughts kasi hindi naman sila necessarily relevant sa context nyo immediately. Hindi mo alam kung paano siya ipapasok sa conversation. So, ayun, recently, or a lot of times, I've been really reflecting on this, and I get to ask myself, and sa dasal ko din, natatanong ko din, bakit ba takot ako magkamali? Bakit ba wala akong bandwidth to, or parang napaka-resistant ko sa mistakes? I'm saying this because na-realize ko naman maybe a year or two na mistakes are good. Paano ko ba yung sasabihin? I realized this earlier, but I think Alex Hormozy phrased it better. That's why it struck a chord in me. So he said he said something like mistakes are good, or mistakes are excellent data streams for personal growth, kasi that's where you essentially learn how you can do better, how can you be better. So, pero even if I know that, kahit alam ko na mistakes are sometimes necessary, and that you really get a lot from your mistakes, takot ako magkamali. That's why I ended up to be much of a people pleaser across the roles I've done in the past. Yung takot ako maka-disappoint, takot akong I'm too afraid to not meet some standards set before me. Of course, I do beyond what is asked of me on many things, no? Pero sometimes it's just because I'm too afraid that I'd be poorly judged. Yung ganon. Of course, maybe this is just cultural, pero most of us grow up in an environment that mas okay pag wala kang mistake. And I'm not sure if you have observed that, na you shouldn't be too loud, you shouldn't be too kang masyadong galaw-gaw, don't touch that, don't do this. Everything is permission based, na and what is celebrated, well, okay naman yun. What is celebrated is that yung konti lang ang mistakes mo, or at least say kung sa school, no one will celebrate yung maraming 70 ka tapos bigla kang nag 90. Kasi wala ka ng chance to prove yourself other than that first time you take that exam, or the second time, or the third. What's celebrated is that you get your answers right as ASAP. I'm not saying that's bad entirely. I'm just saying that that might be the reason that most of us in the workforce are very permission based. Takot na takot gumawa ng mga bagay beyond what is immediately perceived as okay by the superiors, ganyan. So, yep. Also, of course, with that kasi comes the reality that change is hard. Even if you commit mistakes, even if you identify the things you have to tweak in yourself, it's difficult to implement it right away. And sometimes it would take months or years just so you would wholeheartedly feel na okay naman pala yung learnings mo, and that bukal na sa loob mong i-implement siya sa buhay mo. So, another speaker I follow, naalala si Robin Sharma. Robin Sharma said, change is let me try to find my notes on that. Ayan, my notes says it na, or Robin Sharma said, change is hard at first, messy in the middle, but transformation is always worth it in the end. So, ayun, mistakes and the data you get from it are only valuable when you identify the levers that you have to pull. So in this case, kung ano yung character traits that you have to improve on, kung ano yung durations na ideal for you to extend your effort, and yung duration na dapat pag-isipan mo na if you have to shift gears. And of course, value comes only if you execute them after. Well, ganun naman. We are told now that data is more valuable than oil. But data is only valuable if it's actionable and if it is acted on. So, yun. As I say this, I still feel na sometimes it's hard for me to accept or to forgive myself for my mistakes. In business, at work, I am too hard on myself sometimes. So, yeah. Yun. I only hope na I get to be more welcoming and open to making mistakes, just so I can learn faster. Even if I learn things from the books, it would also be helpful to somehow get into situations na matetest ko yung theories na yan. And if magkamali man ako, sana ma-feel ko na okay lang. There's little time, or there may be wasted time, wasted resources. But if it will make me better, then that should be okay. And if it will, for example, earn me more money in the long run, that I teach people the things I did to overcome my own mistakes, my own struggles, then that should be worth it. And that's where my mind at is at the moment. So I hope this still makes sense. It's already my third day doing this, trying to do vlogs without a teleprompter or script. And hopefully after you watch this, you get to think, bakit ba ako takot masyadong magkamali? And of my mistakes in the past, ano pa yung what else can I learn from my mistakes in the past? And what else can I do better sa mga ginagawa ko ngayon? Of course, in the context na desire mo kasi mag-grow and you want to change for the better. So yun, I'm not saying do mistakes intentionally. Yun yung aksaya ng oras at resources for sure. Pero maging open lang. Sana ako din with myself, i-judge ko less yung sarili ko for my mistakes. Hindi ako masyado mag-dwell sa feeling na I'm not good at a particular thing. At mas ma-look forward ko pa that I know I'd be at least 1%, 2% better at the things that I'd be doing next. Kasi matututo ako from my mistakes today. Yung ganon. So yeah, this vlog may be longer than the previous ones, and I just tried my best to say things out loud in my head. Of course, these insights may not always be 100% on point, but let me know if you have thoughts related to this. Let me know in the comments so I can take them up and maybe also learn from you. Reach out to me. Thanks, guys.